A series of sowing trials on the sandy rises of Michael Pfitzner's Riverina property have identified a series of soil management methods for achieving significant improvement in grain yields. The trials first began in 2010, conducted by Central West Farming Systems and the Southern Precision Agriculture Association with the support of the Grains Research and Development Corporation.
When prices for commodities are low, we've got to try and keep our cost base as low as possible too, without impacting yield. So I guess some of the trials that we've done, we've shown that in some cases it's actually better to try and reduce inputs, given that the yield's probably not going to be fantastic in a dry year. So it's always a bit of a toss-up with yield versus cost of production.
4 years later, Mr Pfitzner is now enjoying improved yield thanks to a more refined approach to soil management based on the unlikely discovery that foxes digging into the sandy rises were changing the soil acidity by bringing alkaline soils to the surface.
Quite a few years ago we had some foxholes that we filled in and saw that they could actually grow something. The foxes were doing something there, so we investigated that quite a bit, but it's taken us down quite a few different tracks to try and emulate what in fact was going on there. At the time, the sand rises were very poor, and where we filled in these foxholes, it was every bit as good as the best part of the paddock.
With his wife Larissa, Mr Pfitzner grows wheat, barley, canola, lupins and peas in a continuous rotation on the red sandy loam soils at his 2,800 hectare property, where they have tested several soil management approaches.
We know that if we can get the plant numbers there, we can feed them and get a response. The difficulty that we've found, especially with ripping, we've seen some response with ripping, but not, not consistent response. Specifically targeting sand riser with chicken litter was good, and perhaps that's one way of doing it, maybe on every year or every second year to build them up. But yeah, just sort of being mindful of how seasons can change. I guess, yeah, this is the strategy that we've adopted for the moment.
The end result has been a back-to-basics approach to crop nutrition, thanks to a better understanding of the farm's capabilities.
We've sort of come full circle and then come back to variable rating these sand risers. So we're backing off our fertiliser at sowing time and increasing our seeding rates 50%. Primarily to, I guess, tick the box that we weren't getting any fertiliser toxicity, and get plants established, and then top dress with a I guess a reverse prescription with urea and even topping up a little bit of MAP once the crop is up.
Mr Pfitzner says using satellite imagery to monitor crop growth has also helped him track paddock compaction rates.
The satellite imagery pointed out reasonable amount of compaction over the whole farm that we didn't factor in, so we changed to a 12-metre controlled traffic farming system basically because of that, realising that we were actually probably compacting 48% of the paddock just with seeding operation, the spraying operations and the harvesting operations.